Honestly, I've spent like I've spent too much time of my life just like feeling down, just crying is what it is. Like I spent like when I really think about it, I spent so much time of my life fucking crying. Like I'm always crying, but it's because like I'm such an emotional person where like my emotions they really get the best of me. But it's like, let's think of it like the three little pigs, One house is made out of straw, the material, it's easy to break down. The wolf blows, the house falls down. But what do? They build the next house out of a different material, Now we try with different material. What was the next one? It was straw. Then it was wood. Okay, so now we have a wooden house. We tried with the wooden house. The wolf came. The house fell down again. You know what happened next? Brick house. So we have the brick house. The material stronger. So now when the wolf comes to blow, oh hold up. Let me put a little oomph in it. Oh, it's not going nowhere. And that's really what it's about. It's like when you're breaking down, when like you're at your lowest point, you learn to build up and you build like higher and like much more stronger endurance. Like you're gonna not let people do to you what they were doing before, and like you're gonna learn. Well, it's some people who learn. There are like a few people who they get fucked over and then they just keep doing it and keep doing it. They're like, oh, why is this happening to me? Because you're letting it happen to you. I've let people walk all over me. Walk all over me. You want to know why? Because I was in spite for myself. Like, it was out of spite for myself, very much was. I was so alone, and the thing is, I was doing fine on my own. I was doing just fine. But the thing was, the thing about curiosity is that sometimes you wonder, like, what life would be like with someone else, or how things would go, Is it like, can it work? What would the dynamic be like? And when that one thought slips in, so does the wrong person. And for me, that wrong person slipped in. And when I tell you, it costed me, oh my gosh, guys. It costed me a lot because, I was so alone that I told myself, like, well, with this person here, maybe if I gave you everything I had and more, it would make you stay. Like, I don't want to be alone anymore. It's nice speaking and someone else responding to me. It's nice being asked questions and asking questions back. It was nice. So I kept doing more and more and more and more because I just didn't want them to go anywhere, because I didn't want to go back to that place, that same place that I was comfortable at. And you know what happened? I broke. I didn't just break. I shattered to pieces. That's what happened. That's what it costed me. It costed me everything. If I would have just stayed there by myself and just got comfortable and content with just being there for myself, then I wouldn't have let that happen. But I have no regrets in life, and I don't even regret meeting that person because every step you take in life is for a purpose. And me, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything that happens in your life, it was destined to happen. Everybody that you meet, you were meant to meet them. So even for that person, I can go on a ramble about all the bad things that they've done for me, but I can still name a few good things that they did for me as well. And what? At the end of the day, I gave everything and more. And you know what? Even in some people's stories, you will always be the villain. And I did everything in my power, and I was still the bad guy. That just shows, for some people, you can do whatever you want. You could give them everything. You could go and get the fucking moon, bring it down here and give it to them. And it still won't be enough to some people. It still won't be enough, and that's okay. And that's why I'm not even mad at that person, and I don't hate that person for how things went, because you know what? I allowed myself to go through that. I seen the red flags, and I was just like so desperate to just keep someone by my side that I just kept letting the fucked up stuff that was happening happen. So it's like, how could I blame you for something that I also allowed myself to do? The blame is on both of us, but for the most part, I put the blame on me because I put myself there. Out of the desperation for trying to get out of just being sitting there by myself, I did that to myself. So all I can do is learn from my mistake and say, like, I'm not gonna let it happen a lot. for the most majority of my life. Like, I've just been down. I've just been fighting to get up. But again, every time I'm pushed to the ground and then people are kicking me and I'm just stuck. Every time I try to get up a little bit more, like I'm just knocked down. But every time I go to get up a little bit more, I get up a little bit more than before. Okay, so it's not like it's just like every time. No, I'm learning. I'm reaching higher and higher and higher. That's why I know, like, every time I don't even, like, again, the emotions that comes with the experience of being down and just like wanting to give up. Yeah, it's very, like, it's hard to keep fighting, but the thing is, if there's a will, there is a way. So if you truly want more for yourself, you're gonna fucking fight. And when I tell you guys, I've been fighting, and I'm still fighting to this day. And I'm not gonna stop because I know, like, I keep building up and I'm building up and I'm building up, and every time I'm done wrong, I just become a better person than I was. So why would I stop? Why would I stop? That's why I'm gonna keep fighting and I'm gonna keep going until I get to the top. And I don't care how much times I get close and I have to fall, and I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna keep fucking falling. But every time I fall, I'm gonna pick myself up again and again and again until I get it. There's no stopping me. There's no stopping me. There's no amount of nothing. Things that were meant to bring me to ruin didn't. Things that were meant to bring despair, I never got there. Out of everything, out of every way people treated me in my life, out of all the hardships I faced, I never hated. I don't have not a single bad bone in my body to say I hate anything. I cannot hate. I don't have the power in me to do it. I'm so full of love that that hate, it's something I can't. Even when I was done dirty by this most recent one, when I was done so fucking dirty, when I'm sitting there fucking bawling my eyes out, I'm writing and I'm just wondering, like, I wrote it before and I was like, why? After everything could I not hate? But that's because I was made from love. I was made from love. So being a hateful person, I couldn't do it. There's no one I would hate. If someone else was in my shoes and they were done the way that I was done, they would probably sit there wishing death on that person, being like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. I don't hate anyone because I know I wasn't deserving of what I went through, but the problem is that I know, I tell myself that people are the way they are because of how their life went. I was able to tell that that person was angry from how their life went. And I try to show you that, despite the hardship that you may face, you can become a better person, and you don't have to, like, just because, like, the world was batting against you, that doesn't mean you have to bat against the world. You thought everyone was always rooting for me and on my side of the team? No, they weren't. But at the end of the day, I realized, first of all, I don't need anybody here, and I can root for myself. I can. And you know what? Even though there was no one there, that didn't mean nothing to me. I still pushed, But I kept pushing, and and it's with the power of God. If I tell you guys, if I didn't have, like, family around, people that love me, and God, I would have, when I was feeling at my lowest, I would have had nothing to hold me. I would have had nothing to look forward to. But I always knew, like, I always told myself, because I remember my dad telling me, he said, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And every time I was going through something, I was remembering it, and I was remembering it, and I thought of it every single time. And I was like, you know what? That's what it is. Every time I'm broken down, I become a better person every time. That's why I just embrace it, I embrace the sadness, the emotion that comes with it. As long as it's not making me an angry, bitter person, then I will cry my eyes out. I will do it. I will keep crying, But every time I cry, I realize that I don't want to shed tears anymore. So I'm going to keep fighting until I get to a place where I don't have to do it. And you guys should do the same. Just keep going. Keep fighting. You don't always need somebody there cheering for you. Cheer for yourself. Your hands work. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. That's the thing about it. You don't need a huge applaud. Your hands work. Your ass could clap. Girl, do some jumping jacks. Clap, 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 clap. Like, you could clap. You don't need no one to do that for you. You could do it for yourself. Of course, it's nice to have it from someone, but you'll always be there to do the things that you want others to do. You don't need them to, because you could do it. That's my message, guys. it's not like life was always sunshine and rainbows, but I'm learning to get to a place where it can be.